With regards to layoffs, it is our intention to give the Civil Service Commission initial notice on August the 6th. A day or two before that, we will give you communication, you meaning council and the mayor, the policymakers will get a communication from us that explains with more specificity what the layoff consists of. Today, we do not have that information, so I want to explain how all of this works. So Director A comes in, and let's say her number is $50,000. So she goes back, works with her folks, she comes back and says, well, we can make additional non-personnel cuts totaling $17,500. And she explains what goes into the $17,500. And so we have to fact check to make sure that what she's counting can actually be used. And so we're doing that. And then she might say, well, I have X number of part-time people, and here's what they make. And so I'm proposing that X number of part-time people would help meet the number, the 50,000 number that you've given us. And so we've got to fact check that. Temporaries, contract people, and then she might say, well, the remainder would be dealt with full-time people. And here are the classifications that I would propose. That is what is in play right now. Departments are trying to determine the full range of options that will allow them to get to their number. The situation that was reported in the media within the past couple of days regarding fire is correct. There will not be any layoffs within the fire department. All of the fire stations that are open today will remain open. This plan does not close any fire station. It does not require that any firefighter be laid off and sent home. So everybody will still be working. When you start talking about a fire company being taken out of service, you're talking about removing certain kinds of equipment that they have at their disposal. And so in layman's terms, that would be parked. And so it also will include some people would be demoted because if the fire company is parked, you don't need somebody in charge of it because you're not using it. So they would revert back to a lower level. The fire companies that would be affected and the squad that would be affected by this is the discretion of the fire chief. To illustrate the point, if you were to fully shield public safety from a $40 million number in 2010 relative to general fund, you would have to totally eliminate the Citizens Complaint Authority, HR, DOTE, law, parks, finance, planning and buildings, the city manager's office, and the regional computer center. All of them would have to go in total if they were going to cover the $40 million.
Where I don't agree with him is that nothing can be done to stop this other than layoffs. I beg to differ with him. We have people, our numbers have been cut already at income tax, and we do not have enough people to collect your revenue for you.
How does the city expect us to ask our membership to vote on something that we have no firm numbers on? Even today, the manager stated, to this day, he has no firm numbers. We don't know how many employees are affected, and we don't know, bottom line, what that dollar amount is. I represent employees in 14 of 16 city departments, and I have yet to hear a number, department by department, on how that's going to impact our employees. And until we do so, how do we ask them to take to a vote? Pitting department against department is flat-out union busting. And you could tweet this. Code will be filing suit against the city for union busting, and we have invited our brothers and sisters in the FOP, Local 48, AFSCME, and the building trades to join us. And we've not even started the discussions for 2010, and here we are in August. Thank you.
Police officers are here to protect the citizens of Cincinnati, not to balance a budget. On July the 17th, I received a letter from the city manager that stated, "I am reiterating that your acceptance of the 6 furlough days for an equivalent concession would be mitigated and basically change the ultimate layoff numbers. Not that there would be no layoffs, just that if we gave concessions, they would reduce the number of layoffs. Putting the job of brother and sister officers onto the shoulders of other officers is not a right or fair thing to do. It's an election year. Of course, city council members will wipe their hands clean of layoffs and just blame it on the city manager. I didn't do it, the city manager did. But let me advise you of this. It is an election year. It will be made very clear to the citizens of Cincinnati which council members are willing to make the hard decisions and cut services that we have no revenue for. The police chief on July the 22nd gave a worst-case scenario of 401 at his command staff meeting. Any number will affect public safety. The FOP and its membership believes that the deficit that the city is facing can be addressed without layoffs. I have no trust in the process that we have been involved in for the very few weeks that we've been there, and members are also throwing out the phrase union busting.